Guys, phenomenal morning. Listen, guys, I feel like it's a new year right now. Like, I'll be honest, like I feel like it's a new year right now. I'm always fast forwarded, right? I'm always fast forwarded. I don't deal with like when people set goals, the way we set goals are different. I at Sean Wright East, I guarantee you, right? So most people have goals for today. Some people have goals for tomorrow, like the end of this year, numbers they want to hit before the end of this year, numbers they want to hit next year, and things they want to do next year, the weight they want to lose. I have 10-year goals. Just so everybody's clear on this. Like I have 10-year goals. So I have a monetary goal for 2000. And let me be frank, when I say 10-year goals, right, Bobby? I'm about to lose them. I say 10 years ago. When I say 10-year goals, what I mean is 2035. That's what I mean by 10-year goals. The reason why I know we're still in 2023, guys, but I guarantee you that I operate for the future. So I operate like this is 2025 that we're coming into. Just so we're clear. I want you to think about the goals that you set and why you're where you are. And could you potentially become futuristic? Could you potentially set goals? Do you have a 10-year vision? Could you have a 10-year vision and then a 20-year vision? Because I guarantee you, I got a goal for 2035, but I also have a goal for 2045. Phenomenal morning, though. I'm gonna say phenomenal morning to everybody here today in 2023. We're visiting, right, December 6th. We're visiting to December 6th, 2023. Phenomenal morning, Bobby. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing phenomenal. And I had a community call last night with my guys, and I was talking to them about the difference between New Year's resolutions and New Year evolution. Because a lot of people I found get caught up in the resolution and they never really finish it, and we know this. We know what the statistics have to say. We get the gym membership and we go for 2 weeks, if that, and before we know it, it's collecting dust and we don't know how much we've paid that month, that year, right? But I wanted to help them reframe that a little bit. So I said, here's something that worked for me. So one thing that worked for me that I noticed about myself is I tried to change too much about myself at one time. I was reading Think and Grow Rich a while back, and it says, find the one thing that causes you the most grief in the sense of it prevents you from effectively executing, and work on that for the whole year. Like those that have Think and Grow Rich, it actually has a annual planner in there to a degree for how you can improve. So I talked to them about that yesterday. So one thing I want to say to the people on this phenomenal morning is, I know you feel like a lot of things are going wrong in your life. And they probably are if you're doing it right. Like, and it's not wrong. It's simply that you're uncomfortable, and you're uncomfortable in a lot of places. And that discomfort comes from the growth and development that you're currently undergoing. So that's all good stuff. So it might be tempting for you to try to fix every area that you feel like is messed up or that you feel like isn't working well for you. And my recommendation would be find like one big thing. Like, this thing about me has caused me a lot of opportunities this year. Write that one thing down and then just work on that one thing, and this one is tough for me, but I managed to do it, and it's giving me great results.
Very good, Bobby. I want to take people back for a moment because I know I said something that might have lost some people. So, guys, first off, I want to make sure that everybody can follow instructions. That means being coachable. If you can follow instructions, then you can be successful. As a matter of fact, I said something the other day. I said you guys need to come back in here with your solutions. Like, what have you done? Like, I want to see your progress because I'm giving you multi-million-dollar coaching right now. And if you're not using it, then if you're not applying it, then you're coming for entertainment. And there's a problem with that. The problem with that is a lot of us have gotten caught up in lack of application. Lack of application. So I've heard a lot of, yeah, okay, let's see the results. Like that's what I'm looking for. All I'm looking for is application, application, application. Because if you're applying what we keep saying to you, then you're going to get results. Bobby's here because he can pay attention and he can actually apply the instruction. And because he can apply the instruction, he can turn around and say year after year, 400% increase, 400% increase, 400+% increase, because he's able to be coachable, not just hear what I say, but apply it to the marketplace. It's very important that you guys do that, because this is free. Like I'm trying to like really give and serve and solve at the same time. So I want to break a couple things down to you guys, because Bobby said evolution or resolution. And I love rhymes. Like my mind just starts to travel when I hear that, right? So shout out to Jordan too. He just sent me something on IG. So I see him streaming in multiple different places. Studio looks phenomenal too, right? So evolution and resolution. I want to give you guys a couple more. But before I do it, I want you guys to share this out. Share this out so your followers can get what I'm about to give you. And we'll be right back. This is The Breakfast with the Brand. Let's grow. There's slow growth, and then there's scale. There's incremental growth, and then there's exponential growth. What I want to talk to you about is adding a zero to you and experiencing exponential scale. Incremental growth says 1 + 1 is 2. Exponential growth says 1 + 0 is 10. Incremental growth says 2 + 2 is 4. Exponential growth says 5 + 0 is 50. Guys, listen, when you add a zero to you, you can add a zero to the marketplace. You can add a zero to the value that you bring. So you can add a zero to your family, add a zero to your legacy. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about incremental, we're talking about exponential. I always say that business is a spiritual game. Just imagine when you combine your skills, your values, your abilities, your talents to something bigger than you, something greater than you, something like the power of exponential. That is adding a zero. Add a zero to your competence, add a zero to your confidence. This is about adding a zero in your life, your value, your industry, and your mission. Let's grow. The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just a very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are, so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle. All right, so moving on the fly, right? Moving on the fly, I want you to think about something. Bobby said, evolution and resolution. So I wrote down devolution, devolution, illusion, and solution. Devolution, illusion, and solution. The science of etymology is very deep, guys. Like, you got to know words. You got to know what words are. You got to know what they really mean. So people set resolutions and don't keep them, right? People set resolutions and don't keep them. And they do this year after year. They follow a pattern of setting goals and not accomplishing them. What this does is it causes a degenerative effect on your confidence. It causes a degenerative effect of devolution, because devolution is actually the opposite of evolution. It's to devolve. It's to go back into a former state. So you got a business, you set a business, you get excited. You set a business, you set a goal, you're like, I'm going to do this year. And then it doesn't work out. It doesn't happen. You say you're going to do something. I'm going to make 100 cold calls today. I'm going to make 100 cold calls, Bobby. I'm going to get 5 appointments. And out of those 5 appointments, somebody's going to close. And then you don't call 80 people. You call 70 or 40. And most people don't call 5 or 1. They say they got something to sell. They say they're in business, but they don't attempt to do business. Like, their business it stays in their head and in their heart, and it doesn't come out into the marketplace. And they wonder why it's not working. What happens when you do this is you set other goals. So it starts a roller. It causes a disaster effect, a corollary effect, but it segues is what I'm saying, guys. So you set this business goal and you don't accomplish it. You set a physical goal. So I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. But you don't accomplish that either. Then you tell me, spend more time with the wife. You see? But what happens is you've got 2 fails. You got 2 fails, 2 situations where you're going back and you're settling, because what happens? You say, well, it's 12 o'clock now. People are on lunch. And then 5 o'clock comes and you say, well, it's 5 o'clock now. People are leaving for work. They're leaving work. They're going home. So I don't want to call them and bother them now. You give yourself excuses as to why not to do it. Why not to measure up and level up to your potential? It causes disastrous effects in everything else that you do. Because now it becomes easier to say, well, if I skip today's workout, that'll be okay. It's acceptable. Same way you said, if I don't call these people and I just start tomorrow, it's okay. Same thing with the healthy eating. Well, I'm going to just have this one piece of cake. And people wonder why, Sean, why do you examine everything? Why do you magnify everything? Why do you make something small so big? There's no such thing as something small, guys. There's no such thing as something small. God is in the details, and the devil is too. So the reason why Bobby was able to hit 400% and how he actually did it was because I saw things that he was doing or not doing, and I hit him and checked him on it. Hey, Bobby, you need to do this. And he actually did it. That's the thing. He actually did it. He didn't have to believe it when I said it, but he trusted it, and he had confidence in it, and he was able to be coachable, and he was able to summon up the faith to take the next step. And because he took the next step, he found out that the stair step materialized in front of him. Before he took the step, he couldn't see the steps, guys. So what I'm saying to you is, like, before your solutions come, you're not going to be able to see it. You're going to say, why, Sean? Why should I do this? What difference does it make what time I wake up? I'm trying to do business. It makes all the difference in the world. Why does it make a difference what I eat? It makes all the difference in the world. Why does it make a difference if I spend this amount of time instead of that amount of time? Listen, guys, it makes all the difference in the world. It's the difference between where you are now and where you want to go. Just hear me. Just hear me. What I'm saying to you right now is the difference between where you are now and where you want to go. And I don't care if you're 6 figures or 7. It makes no difference to me. I don't care if you're on 4 figures or no figures. Because you got to remember, I started my business in the basement of a job that I hated with this BlackBerry. Not a BlackBerry, this one right here. So you are watching this over a more technologically advanced asset than I had then. So but the reason why that we were able to do 6 figures in less than 90 days is because I had a 10-year vision in 2013. Please understand me. I had a 10-year vision for 2000. I had a vision for 2023 in 2013. And it caused me to take specific steps and do things in a specific manner. See, people say, I'm going live, Sean. I'm calling people. I'm doing a thing. Okay, but what's the quality of the call? What's the quality of the step that you're taking? Are you examining the step? Are you magnifying the step? Are you examining and experimenting and really exhuming the step and looking at it and looking for the details? Are you putting it under the microscope? Are you putting your psychology under the microscope? Because 9 times out of 10, I promise you, you're not. There's too many things going on around you for you to focus and hone in and concentrate on the details and specifics of what you're doing. And that's why you're a generalist and you got a whole bunch of stuff. This is what I hear all the time, Bobby. I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on. And like Bobby said in the beginning, you want to focus on one thing. Like bring it all down. Like, so things go like this: expansion and contraction, expansion and contraction. But if you can't contract your concentration, you'll never expand. You'll never expand. So I contracted my vision, set 10-year goals, and then created specific steps to get me to my 10-year goal. And lo and behold, here we are. When I started this here, I did not know what steps I had to take. Right now, you probably don't know what steps you have to take. And just let me tell you, like, the best step that you could possibly take is scrolling down at the bottom of the screen right now. The best step that you could possibly take is scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now. How do I know? This is how I'm going to take it from conceptual to contextual and make it evidence-based. Bobby started at that link at the bottom of the screen. And then he went to 400% and 400% more and 400% more.
Man. All I can do is think about all the people that started out and are kind of, I don't know if y'all see Maze Runner, but that's what comes to mind, Maze Runner. Now, Maze Runner is a movie about this group of kids that got dropped into this huge life-size maze, and they would have to run in order to get to the other side. So that's pretty much the concept. And a lot of times we can be in a maze in our own minds. And I think that Branded Like a Leader, for me, it was almost like someone came through the maze before me and they used invisible paint and they painted on the walls these arrows. And they were like, hey, anybody that has this particular spray, if you spray it on the walls while you're running, it'll illuminate the direction that you should go in when you get to this part of the maze. And what I think a lot of us struggle with sometimes is not necessarily our energy. It's not necessarily our desire to get where we're trying to go, or even our faith at times. It's sometimes that we just don't know what direction to go in and when. And that's the crucial thing about a maze. When you're running in a maze, you can go left, you can go right, you can go straight. And the thing is, which direction do you go in and when? Because you might need to go left for the first 3 encounters, then right for the next 3, and then straight for the next 3, left, right, left. And that's simply what business can be like. And I'll say, I think business is that way because the structure of our capitalistic society, right? It's structured a lot like a maze. And it looks this way because you've got producers and consumers, right? And the producers are designing the world that the consumers live in. And the consumers, so to speak, want to enjoy the world that the producers live in. Now, here's the thing. So I just want you to think about this. Think about a kid and an adult. Because if you're a kid, a parent creates your world and you live in it. When you're a kid, however, you want to be the parent. You want to make your own rules, do your own thing. Now, here's the thing. You don't know that the parent goes to work every day. You don't know that the parent deals with the boss at the job. You don't know that the parent has lived life for 20, 30 more years than you have. You don't know that the parent has survived trauma and protects you from all of these other things. And what ends up happening is that when we get ready to leave the workforce and take this Hail Mary approach into the abyss of business and brilliance and brand and all this good jazz, we just don't know how much actually goes into making things look easy. And I think that that's what Branded Like a Leader really did for me. It showed me how much actually goes into making things look easy. And if more people would just do it, like just go through the process of figuring it out, you'll get further faster. And my last piece would be producers and receivers. So I am guilty of this personally. And I like to think, sometimes too much. I just like to philosophize. I like to understand. I like to know why. I just like to think. I enjoy it. Like it does something for me. Some people like to work out. I like to think. But here's the thing about thinking. Thinking is receiving, believe it or not. As far as I'm concerned, thinking is receiving because you receive a idea or you receive an intuitive spark. You receive something, and everybody likes to receive gifts, right? We like gifts, but what we don't always like to do is produce. And production is the process of labor, getting it out, getting it done.
That's right.
Finishing it. So what I had to learn to do and what I'm continuously shaping and just sharpening myself into doing is producing as much as I'm receiving, or at least with the same cheerfulness. As happily as I want to receive new ideas, I should be just that willing to work on the ideas that I have. And I feel like that was a game changer for my mindset. This year in particular, is just produce more. Add a zero. Add a zero to your production.
Add a zero. Guys, I say it all the time. So watch this. I'm going to shout some people out real quick. Bradley Hoover, I see you on Facebook. What's going on? Let's grow. Travis Klein, I see you as well. Let's grow. Phenomenal morning to you. Tamika Wright, I just shared her stuff to my page actually because she actually tagged me in her post and showed where she's watching this. And she said something about waking up in the morning now and getting up earlier. Right, guys? It's so important that you take extreme activity. So as a matter of fact, we're going to send Tamika something. I'm going to send her something. Tamika, you just won a course. We're going to give you a small sample course of Branded Like a Leader. I think it's called Branded Like a Leader, the mini course or something like that. But we're going to give you something for your devotion and dedication. And because you broke through, right, guys, you need to break through. I guarantee you, Bobby said something about philosophizing. You're very welcome. So philosophizing. I want to ask you, are you overthinking it? Are you philosophizing or are you monetizing? I'm serious, because when you're stuck in think mode, you're out of drip mode, like you're out of give mode. You're not giving, you're thinking. And everybody wants to be deep. Everybody wants to be deep, but very few people want to get results. And they don't know the difference. I want you to be motivated. Let me just say that. Let me just clear that up. I want you to be motivated, but I want you to be compensated even more. And in order for you to be compensated, you have to be activated, which means you have to be active in the marketplace, guys. You got to learn and do, learn and do, learn and do, as opposed to just learn. I'm going to tell you to get in the marketplace, get out of the course. If you're in the course for too long with no results, I'm going to tell you, stop watching the course and get busy in the marketplace. I'm going to tell you to write the book, get it done, push it out. Before you write the book, sell the book. Before you record the course, sell the course. Guys, we pre-sold the course before we recorded 1 minute. I didn't record Branded Like a Leader before I sold it hugely. So I got out of my own way. I wasn't thinking, I don't know, Bobby, you think they're going to like the 501 framework? Is the 10 PD framework going to work? I'm not really sure. Let me think about this some time. I forget thought. I got into the marketplace and I brought my idea. I forgot thought and I brought my idea and I asked the market questions and the market gave me the results. So the market told me exactly what needed to be done. That's why we did 6 figures in less than 90 days. That's why. It didn't happen because I thought about it for 5 years. I'd still be thinking about it if I had to think before I move. You should not have to think and chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. You need to get out of your own way. Sometimes learning sometimes over learning can be a smart person's or a person who thinks they're smart excuse for procrastinating. I think you can use that as an excuse for procrastinating because you're really scared to move. So I hear this a lot too. I'm getting ready. When I'm ready, when it's ready, when the market is ready. Listen, the market been ready. If anybody's making money, the market been ready. The market's been ready for what you got. The market's been ready for your value. The market's been ready for your voice. You're just not putting it out there. And that's why you are where you are. Mm-hmm. I want to help you get the stumbling block out of the way so you can get the payday that you never thought was possible. Let's grow. Business is like a game of chess. It's not checkers. If you don't know how to lead with a personal brand, then you're losing the battle.
Everything about Sean's talk was fantastic. I mean, I got so much from it.
So he was really bringing fire and passion and just love and spirit to let everybody else know how do you become a leader amongst the leaders.
You hold the key in your hand. There is more power in this phone than there was that took the first man to the moon.
His energy, his dynamic information, gave a really great presentation.
I didn't ask for any money. I didn't have an offer. I had a heart to help people and meet them where they were at and find their need and fulfill it.
Sean is the bomb.
I don't talk theory. I don't talk hyperbole. I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G-Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Sean Raiz. He will not only impact your organization, for he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
I said Sean Ra'is. I'm proud. I said Sean Ra'is. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what have you learned? What have you learned? Like, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. What have you learned, guys? What have you, let me say this even better. What have you learned that you can do today? What have you learned that you can do today in order to close the gap between you and all of the zeros waiting for you?
Man, guys, I want to enter your living room, your car, your garage, wherever you're at right now. I want to enter that room with you for a minute, right? So I want to ask you a few questions to just bring this home. Get out of my own way and start showing products. Let's go. All right. So question number 1, how much time do you have left? I told you I wanted to come into your garage. I want to come into your car. I want to come into your bedroom. Like I want to be there next to you right now. Like, how much time do you have left? I'm not talking about in the day. I'm not talking about in the month, in the year. I'm talking about in your life. Because the reality is we don't know. We don't know. When the day comes, the day has come. And that's what it is. That's what it is. So take that one piece and say, okay, I don't know how much time I've got. All right, boom. Second piece is question. Have you kept your promises to yourself, to others, to your community? Because what I have learned personally, guys, is that life is for the living. It's for the living. And sometimes we can get so caught up in what we're trying to do. We can get so caught up in making promises and thinking about all the things that's possible. I believe Jordan Peterson put it like this. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, potential is cute on children, but adults need to perform. In other words, you can have all the potential in the world. And if you're a kid, that looks great. But potential on an adult looks less and less attractive because adults are running out of time. So the older you get and the more potential you have, the less attractive that potential becomes because the potential isn't actually being leveraged, maximized, stuff like that. Actually being. So I say that to kind of walk through this coaching mentorship piece, because I was writing some things down. Like I'm always taking copious notes. Forget thoughts and think about what you brought. Like all of those things got me to this point. So mentorship, coaching, and apprenticeship. All of these kind of do a very similar thing. So in the book Mastery, they talk about all of these. They talk about apprenticeships more precisely. But here's the thing. The apprenticeship program was founded on the idea that you have a limited amount of time to get to your peak performance. So back then, the estimated lifespan could have been literally anywhere from about 27, 30 to about 37. Like at 37, most people, they're ready to go. Like they're like, oh man, I had a good 3 decades. It's over. Real talk. That's unfathomable for us. That we're just hitting our midlife crisis around 37. People were literally, in the grand scheme of things, dying at 37. So what they had to do is they had to create apprenticeship programs that got people into their field of study or execution or process, and they got them there as quickly as possible. And when they got them there, they kept them there until they started to produce. So as I say, this last piece from my end and vantage point is that if you respect time, like you respect life, like you really believe that you could die. It's like children believe that they're immortal. Adults understand that in any day it could happen. And when we accept that reality, you have to move different. And once you start moving different, life responds differently. And my last piece is life gets better when you get better. Like when you get better at life, life gets better. Period. When you get better at life, life gets better for you. And that's just something I wanted to share, just to kind of be in your room with you as you're looking around at what you've been having, how you've been living, how much time you really got left. The promises, like it's easy to feel like you're going to live forever. But the reality is we just don't know.
So you need to stop thinking. You need to stop thinking, right? Because we're always thinking that we've got enough time to wait. But when you act today as if it's your last, everything changes. I guarantee this. This is a fact. If you when you act today as if it's your last, everything will change. So people ask me, why you go live every day? Somebody asked me the question, what if today was your last day, Sean? What would you do? I said, well, I would give it away. I would help people immediately. I would just go like live and help people consistently as much as I could. I would start my day in service to people because I believe in servant leadership. So I would start my day the way I would want my life to be remembered. So I start my day in service to people. Do you understand? 100% alignment. Then throughout the day, I'm serving. So just so everyone's aware, before I do this, I do family time. We do family time before this. Before this call, I'm on with family because that's the most important thing to me. Are you living above, below, or at your potential? Are you living above, below, or at your potential? And this is what I guarantee as well. You don't even have a clue what your potential is. Whatever you answer to that prior question, you have no idea what your potential is. You are capable of so much more than you do every single day. You are capable to wake up so much earlier You are capable to eat so much better. You are capable to produce so much more. So again, to end on what we began on, because we began on evolution and devolution, I'm going to ask you, are you working with solutions or illusions? Are you believing in and working and aspiring for illusions? Things that are elusive, things that appear to be what they really are not. Or are you working with serious solutions that will change and cause a shift in your life and in the life of the people that you love, the people that you say you love, right? Because I was speaking to somebody yesterday and I told them, I said, love is not a noun. Love is not a person, a place, or a thing. They say, that's my love. No, love is not a noun. They say, well, I feel love. No, love is not a thing. Love is an action word. Love is a verb. Love is what you would give people if you were able to accept not receiving something in return. I have a bias for action, if you can't tell. I have a bias for action, but the action is based or predicated on the people that I love. So I serve because I love, and I love, therefore I serve. If you're not serving, if you're worried about how I'm going to appear, oh no, my hair isn't right, I don't have the suit, I don't have the camera. You got to remember, I started my business in the basement of a job that I hated with the BlackBerry. I keep it right here to remind myself where I came from. I keep it right here on tap, on mine. So anytime that even like any ego or pride might even try to spring itself upon me, I always remember where I came from. Now I have a 10-year vision of where I'm going. I asked you that question. Do you have a 10-year vision of where you're going? Or, and we're going to go to the break after this because you might have to swallow this for a moment. Are you already there? What you're looking at right now is the new face of leadership. I chose to go the route of SOE, standards of excellence. So I help people put zeros behind their numbers. I help people move up in or out of their organization and get paid their annual income monthly, their monthly income weekly, and their weekly income daily. I promise you, if you follow me at all, you're going to want to use something to write with. CSA first. CSA. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. It starts with a decision. Who do you want to be and what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? You have to define that. If you don't know, then it's vague and it'll never be clear. The problem that we have is clarity. We walk into an organization happy to be there, happy that they accepted us, but we don't have a clear goal. That's why people stay in the same organization year after year after year, go to the same vacation spots with the same people and talk the same amount of nonsense around the same water cooler. So when I go into an organization and someone says they've been here for 20 years and they're still around $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, I'm like, whew, it's chilly. It's a little bit cold when I know that all it takes for you to raise your prices, whether it's inside or outside of an organization, is self-belief and dedication. Brand you and not what you do. So when I meet people, I ask people, tell me a little bit about yourself, and they immediately tell me what they do. That's not who you are. Branding is who you are. Marketing is how people find out about you. So when you say, I'm a photographer, you just lumped yourself in with a million other photographers. What's special about you? Why should I work with you? I don't need a hand with a camera. I need a man with a story, a woman with a goal, a vision, someone with an idea of where they want to, what they want to be and who they want to impact in their lives. That's what moves me. We know where we belong, whether we're in that seat or not. We heard the word legacy and we were pulled to come. I flew in last minute. Let's go. Leadership, legacy, love. Whew. I gotta be there. So what happens in marketing is when you say, I am you put yourself in what we call a red sea. You're now fighting against a million competitors with a million different things. Clarify. Who are you? What do you stand for? And then simplify it. Don't make it 10 things. Bruce Lee said, I do not fear the man who has thrown 10,000 kicks. He says, I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. You can have the most mouth-watering steak that the world has ever seen, but if you try to position it or place it in a vegan neighborhood, you make no money. Who are you trying to market to? Sometimes we don't support each other. Sometimes you got to go outside of your community, outside of your neighborhood, outside of your phone book to find someone who will support you. So if your business is hurting, think about the place that you're trying to move, whatever it is that you're moving, and the people that you're trying to sell to. You want to become the OVO. The OVO is the only viable option in your vertical. The only viable option in your vertical. We're not here for competition. We're here for domination. We're here for domination. Period. And if you feel differently, you're probably in the wrong room. Is anybody ready for the fifth one? Are you ready for the fifth one? Might want to capture this. Might want to capture this. For God's sakes, man, your prices. Your prices. We should stand out because of price. Some people look for the lowest price. You're making a big mistake because you're defining yourself. Your success comes from mindset and perception. If you're competing over the lowest price, there's a problem. Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands. Train people. I'm going to leave you with this. We train people how to treat us when we meet us based on how we treat ourselves. Brand you and not what you do. Thank you. So I think I wanted to show you better than I could tell you just now, right? I wanted to show you better than I can tell you. And I kind of wanted to bring you in the room with me so you could hear what I would say to you if we were in the room. I'm really a real person. Like what I'm saying to you right now is the same thing that I would be telling you if we were in the room. I would be challenging you. I would be coaching you. I would be telling you to get out of your own way. I would be telling you to add a zero to your prices. I would be telling you that the only thing stopping you from transforming your past into your future is your present. The only thing stopping you, hear me clearly, the only thing stopping you from transforming your past into your future is your present. When you put things off until tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. If you wait until the time is right and you mistake right now for not being the right time will never become because you're missing the present. You're missing it. Yesterday was the best time for you to get started. As a matter of fact, the best time for you to get started was 10 years ago. And this is what I tell people on closing calls. Say, Sean, I need to wait. Does your family need to wait? Tell your son they need to wait. Tell your daughter that she needs to wait. The best time for you to have started your business and gone gung-ho with your business was 10 years ago so you could sit in the shade of what you created. You'd be able to sit in the shade today if you would have started 10 years ago. The next best time is right now. So in 10 years, you'll be able to sit in the shade of what you created. And your family will be able to receive residual economy because of your psychology, not philosophy. Stop philosophizing and start monetizing. This is the Breakfast with the Brand. Remove the stumbling blocks. We're here to give it to you for free. Now, what you do with it, that's up to you. Let's grow.